the things that can happen. But Rapha and Chance are going to show us now the grand finals of today's North American Sunday Cup, the 7th one for the summer season. We're off on Rapha to begin with as he makes his way from that red armor straight to the Mega. This is a fantastic spawn, but the thing is that he doesn't have weapons.
I'm surprised Chance actually went for the plasma.
Yeah, I'm also surprised.
Because he could have had the other yellow and an LG to boot. And now, at least the advantage he would have had by not going to this LG yellow is that he might have tried to lock Rapha inside the LG yellow, but he didn't do that either. So essentially he just gave away control. And he gave away weapon control as well. A bit unnecessarily. This is actually great damage from Chance here at this yellow. He's gonna not take it, but at least he dealt enough damage to prevent Rapha from, well, getting a little bit arrogant and pushing a little bit too far.
It's also to let people know, we have the maps are Lost World, Toxicity, Blood Run, Furious Heights, and then Cure. So that's the order. So just to throw that out there, because we skipped over that.
All right, so with 1 minute on the clock, Chance, he doesn't have control, but in my opinion, doesn't look that bad at all. He has so far not been caught out. He has been able to deal damage whenever they met. And he has been able to keep track of what is going on, at least at the yellows. Now, right now, I'm pretty sure it shows that he didn't know when the Mega was spawning. Now he might get a time. Actually, Rapha really smart to not collect it. So even if Chance had thought that Rapha might have taken it, then he's not gonna have the exact time. Chance actually checking again, and Rapha not taking it again. This is actually pretty interesting. So right now, I think the time will come and Rapha will collect it, and it probably will be 35 seconds from the first time he faked not taking it.
Yeah,
so Chance might actually
quite funny.
Might actually happen that Chance just.
But here is the read from Rapha. Oh my god! He's gonna. Oh my god! And he just has to pick the moment. He goes with that one, and that's as good as any other. And that's a huge amount of damage. But actually, jumping through that corridor, he received quite a lot. So Chance did recover somewhat from that fight, but. Regardless, Rapha's going to be able to flush Chance out of the Mega position and take it for himself. He gets the frag as well. So not only can he reassert his stability when it comes to map control, he can also keep pressuring Chance whilst having a frag lead now. So that was an amazing situation from Rapha. What a brilliant read.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't really a read. He just went there.
It's
and
an informed guess, perhaps. Like a why not? Yeah. Move.
Well, yeah. It was, in my opinion, was a pretty standard thing to do. He just started walking slowly and just got really lucky with how Chance just turned his back to him. It was actually pretty. That doesn't ever happen somehow. I'm pretty surprised that happened. Like Chance, for some reason, must have thought that Rapha is at the shotgun or something. I don't even know why he didn't check the way from the plasma. It's just. Do you have any idea why that happened? Like,
Are you confounded, baffled? I don't know either, but what I do know is Chance has to slow the game down. He's at a point where Rapha's stack is very, very, very intimidating. He can't take a direct engagement. He's got to just slow this right down. Because if he gets more than 2 frags, it feels very uncomfortable. I think for me, more than 2 frags is very painful on this map against a really good player who can play defensively well. And that was a nice exchange of damage, but it didn't really count for much because there's so much for Rapha to take away. And what would you like to see Chance doing? He's trying to get out on center map now. He's creeping just above red.
Let's switch over to Chance and see what he is doing.
Oh god.
That wasn't a very flattering time for Chance to switch onto his spot.
Yeah, no. That was good, but also terrible timing to switch to him.
So, certainly I wouldn't be lucky jumping into Rapha's ulti. I think that's a pretty bad idea at this point in time. And I would probably try to sit on the yellows for... Wow, no, I actually do that. That is a great idea by Chance to just hit 2 direct rockets. Rapha is actually quite weak now. It should be... Chance... I feel like Chance could have hit a lot more plasma in that situation if he was a little bit more aggressive. Like, this was actually... After these 2 direct rockets, Rapha must have had, like, less than 100 to 100. Probably quite close to Chance's stack, and Chance could have, I believe, played this more aggressively, especially in the because of plasma in that situation, in these close corridors. I think it would have been worse to risk just trying to push in there and just hope he hit enough plasma to get a frag. Now Rapha still hasn't fully recovered. He only has 50 armor, but he still has item times, and Chance doesn't. So any damage Chance does, it doesn't do him any favor as long as he doesn't follow up on it.
And it's...
So at some point he's just gonna take a risk. He's gonna have to take a risky situation and push in and try to make something happen, or he's gotta stop trying to fight it low until he has 100 to 200.
Oh no, Chance dying there. That was from that first little poke in where Rapha did that initial damage. That already had signed the fate of Chance for the next few minutes, because there's no way he could be active on the map for another 25 seconds, really, around that kind of time, allowing Rapha to take everything. But Rapha got the frag as well. Yeah. So that extended his lead, and he can get aggressive now. He's got some time to sweep away some yellows, to try to get a good bearing on Chance's position. There he sees him. Now he can lock him away in a corner and prevent him from really taking what he wants to take, which is those yellows. He is content to give him one, however, but that's all, and maybe some shards, but that's all he's going to give him, and he's going to be right back to deal with it afterwards. Wow!
This one LG cell that connected prevented Chance from getting it on the first try. And this is a great rocket jump away, and this is brilliant from Chance.
How did he do that?
Ambushed Rapha when he came up with the teleport. I think he actually faked going away before. Like I'm not sure he faked it. Rapha for some reason thought it. It might have been some sound cue that he misinterpreted. But he seemed very convinced that Chance was going to the LG, and he actually spammed this LG archway. And Chance was falling there. I'm not sure what that was all about. Maybe Rapha imagined some sound that didn't happen. But it worked out great for Chance for a while, but then he did no mega time. And now Rapha's doing a final thing again.
Pretty decent rockets from Rapha, but yeah, it was very, very nice from Chance. He really engineered that situation to give him a marginal spot where he could land some rockets. He managed to kind of hit them, whether you could call it luck or whatever, but he got that situation in his hands. And of course, he didn't get any frags, but he did switch away control. He is yet to get the mega added to his stack. It's going to happen now. That's going to really signal him to just really go for it. But he's only got one rocket, and I hope to God he realizes it.
You know, one thing I just noticed when Chance was spamming the rockets, is something I never really thought about, is that, you know how you sometimes spam rockets at some place, like you're standing on top and you're spamming, say, the LG ammo, or the 50 health bubble, and you're just spamming it, and then you're jumping down, and when you're jumping down, you often still like shoot a last rocket that you already shoot at a different angle. And your opponent, if he's watching the rocket spam, he can easily tell at which point you jump down, just because the angle changes, and you see that the rocket comes from below and hits above. And that's what Chance just did, and Rapha could just see, alright, he just jumped down, and he could go center map. And I think that's something that probably you could easily cut down on, just not shoot that last rocket, and probably your opponent will have a much harder time knowing where you are.
Wow. Rapha kind of throwing Chance away there with those rockets. Very important to do that. He doesn't want to take that fight necessarily, and now he's got the pressure on Chance as he wants it. He wants this fight. He's happy to take this. He's kind of low on rockets, so only 4 more. And wow, Chance is going to rocket jump up from behind. I don't know if I like that, because
mega up.
Yeah, Rapha's going to take this mega regardless. And oh, the grenade connects, and that is Rapha with 1 more on the board. And Chance is going to credit him and say nice one in the chat. And Rapha definitely is looking really good now. The problem is his plasma could be scary. He's got to back away, take his victories where he... Oh god, he's going to go straight out for it. Brilliant stuff there. And steals away the 50. So Rapha definitely secured this map now, unquestionably so. And that means we'll move on to the next one.
Nice.
Which will be Toxicity, and he's going to be 1 map up. And as you said, in your opinion, he's the best Toxicity player in the world.
Yeah, for me there's no doubt. I mean, the way he played on QuakeCon, he played even twice on the map, and he just did no chance. It's because Rapha was always, like, at some point during the beginning it was still close and it was back and forth. But as soon as Rapha got control, he never lost it. I haven't seen one time during the tournament where he would have control and then lose it. He would sometimes like die, but he still wouldn't lose control based on that. He still would maintain perfect understanding of when items were spawning. He always knows it, and that's what makes him so good. Like, I already said it many times in this thing that this is a map that's a lot about the items and a lot about controlling the items and rotating them. And out of control, it's a lot about not letting that happen. And it's sometimes very difficult to, out of control, to still maintain the item times. And Rapha is just so good at it. Just never lets it come to a situation where he's essentially locked out of the map completely. It just never happens. He always knows. He always keeps track, and he always keeps thinking about what's going on. Yeah,
it's going to be nice to see. However, Chance actually has some game on toxicity, but...
Yeah, some nice long distance rockets, I believe.
He does, but that's one thing to be good on toxicity, and it's another to be the best. And that is what you... That is your claim.
That's what I said.
That's your claim. That's your claim. And I think it's fair. I think it's a fair claim. It's a map that's very positional, and Rapha is someone who perhaps understands the positional plays and how the implications work with items over frags, that choice that you have to constantly make, items or frags, control or frags. Rapha understands this stuff intuitively, and we're going to see him now play toxicity. He gets the railgun and the red armor off the spawn. So Rapha, he does want to weapon himself up, but going to play the position, and you can look at that. He avoided taking any damage, and he dealt some. That's okay. He just all right. That's not really helping my point there, Rapha. Just dropping into the acid just for no reason. But never mind. It's all about finding those spots where you return, where you give damage and get returned very little. That's what Cypher does immaculately.
Very nice from Chance. But see, Rapha didn't stay on the bottom level, which was the mistake that Chance kept doing against Red. He just jumped up to the railgun, and it was an easy frag from there. He had a much better position.
And all those little bits of damage that Rapha did at the start really made that set up that red armor frag to be quite easy. And it's a decision where Chance was like, man, I have to go for this.
And I'm gonna call it now. Rapha's not losing control anymore. This is it. This is over. Chance blew it.
I call GG as well. GG.
GG. It's impossible. One frag lead for Rapha with 9 minutes into the game, and left in the game is.
And it's like when it's Blood Run and I call Pavel. When it's Pavel and he gets a frag up, I call GG. Although it never happens anymore. Damn it, Pavel. But anyway.
He never gets a frag.
Let's not talk about the Cosmonaut. Instead, we talk of Rapha and what he shows us. The stunning plays on toxicity. He picks up the Mega. This is the plus EV position. I like to use the poker terminology there because it's really applicable in this game. If anyone is a poker player or understands it, Rapha is so stacked still. His efficiency is somewhat unmatched right now, and that's just the frags like that where you get them just whilst you're moving to an area. That's incredibly reassuring. That really boosts your confidence, because now, like you said, okay, he's not going to lose control. A clean frag like that, that's what it tells me. It tells me that he's not going to lose control at all, because when it's clean, when there's no challenge, it's just no problem at all. And look at the position, and he doesn't miss these shots at all.
Yeah, this might be a chance for Chance. Oh my god, why does this keep happening? So Chance actually got a yellow now, which is at least something to fight with, and it's actually a really nice encounter here, but it's so close. If he had stolen this red, this might have made a big difference, because Rapha would have been with starting health, and Chance might have actually made something happen, but just this half a second. You might say Rapha calculated it. Maybe Rapha knew exactly what was going on, and he knew it. Like, there's no danger for me at all after just half a second before the red will spawn, and I'll get it.
It's quite possible.
It's probably wasn't exactly like this in his head, but he probably had a feeling like
wow,
enough time.
The grenade to rail right there, and again, just what we can just take note of the positions that he takes and the routes that he runs on the map, because it's very deliberate. Every single step that Rapha takes is deliberate. He goes there for a reason, and of course it can be dictated by where his opponent is, but it's also because it's the best way he feels like to deal with a certain situation. And here you go, defensive positioning on the Mega spot to defending his Chance's tele exit. Does manage to take him down, receives quite some damage there, but he has everything spawning. This section of vulnerability for Rapha could be exploited by Chance if he was to go aggressive now. However, Chance does not recognize this, and that's an opportunity gone.
But Chance did get 150 armor. It's pretty good for... Well, it's finally a chance for him to do something properly, and he actually has a stack advantage. So one thing I don't understand is why he left position at the red, and yeah, this is this is just very bad play because he had the last red, he knew when he was respawning, and he was arriving at it with 2 seconds to go. He really misplanned the steps he took between taking these 2 red armors. And he paid for it. Just a positional mistake, and it made it so easy for Rapha to just get the frag. And it looked like Rapha might have lost control for a little bit of time, but he actually didn't. Like, even though he had a lower stack, he still knew when all the items were spawning, and that is what control really is all about. It's not only about having a bigger stack, it's also knowing what exactly is spawning next, where you have to go, and what the opponent is doing. And while he had a lower stack, he still knew much better what Chance's position was and what the items spawn times were.
Yeah, it's one of those huge considerations you need to take into account. I mean, it's quite easy to explain why positioning can be so important to anyone who's... Because, I mean, might as well... It's okay to go a little off topic to the actual game, I think, at this point, because Rapha is kind of raining destruction upon Chance, and he's looking very good form-wise, so... as far as positioning goes, one way people can think about it is if 2 players have, let's say, 100-100, they're both even on stack and even on weapons, then if you take, let's say, one guy moving through a choke point where his dodging is limited versus the other guy standing in a wide area where he has lots of room to dodge, then the guy, of course, who's got lots of room to dodge, that stack is... that even stack situation, he's going to deal more damage, so he'll be left with more, assuming both players are relatively even in aiming skills. It's going to be a lot easier for one of them to hit more and harder for the other one to hit because he's getting pushed and so on. So effectively his stack is worth a lot less in that situation. So it's like one reason why positioning can absolutely trump the stack. So, and players like Cypher, basically that's what his game is completely based around, because he goes for the defensive spots where he never has more stack. It almost seems like that he never has more stack, but he always wins the fight. So
that is quite true.
So it's one of those things to think about, and there's quite a lot of players who like to play that style of play. I know ZSX like basically said once when he was here, he's like, that's kind of how I play, positioning and damage over items. And if you look at someone like Agent, of course he mixes in a lot of good positional play, but he prefers to have the bigger stack. And that's often
actually
how things
today I felt like Agent played really recklessly, and I was shocked how he was still getting frags because he was consistently outpositioned. He was just going on to these items like in the last second, because like on ZTN, for example, if you're trying to control all the items, you will be arriving at them very late. There's no way you can be early 10 seconds for every item and still have them all on rotation. So it was coming late every time from a bad position. His opponents were prepared, but somehow he was still just hitting this flick rails while he's just
it's very
through the area, and then
uncharacteristic.
he'll just go through the teleporter and he'll shoot a flick rocket and just keep on his way. So
Yeah, you're totally right. It did seem like a different player in some regards, although his aim was still the Agent aim that we all know and love. But look at that opening frag from Rapha. Those rockets were quite unconventional at start, and that's... I mean, what are the implications here from that?
well, Chance is doomed.
He's screwed.
Yeah, no, actually at this point in time, no, I don't think so. I'm very surprised Chance started with MG, and then in that situation, I've actually never seen, this was first, that the player with the rockets got the frag. Like it always goes the other way around. If you have LG, you just never let the rocket player get close enough to the mega. He dies before that. So Chance, just by having MG out first, then switched out too late, wasn't able to make enough knockback onto Rapha. He got the mega, and it was all over. But usually what you do with that spawn is that you grab LG much quicker than Chance did, and you jump forward much quicker.
And Chance is just going for it kind of regardless. He seems to be quite aggressive, and I don't know about that, but he's going to keep trying. And he's got Rapha pretty low. I mean, this is one of the situations where you can decide to take a risk and be like, okay, I want to hit 3 rolls in a row. But will it pay off? Rapha's going to go aggressive here and cuts Chance down at the yellow armor. And there, off the spawn, he's going to find another one. So Rapha's just rocketing in the lead, quite literally, as it's 4-0 now. And as he drops down onto the railgun, he's going to get a good idea of which way Chance is going to go. And Chance actually comes back for the LG pressure. Rapha hitting that rail basically screwed Chance completely on that pressure. So there you go.
Is Chance raging a little bit?
I don't know.
It's like he's unusually aggressive, and he's already lost 5 frags.
Yeah.
a lot of very uncharacteristic. Like I would rather say Chance is a very defensive player, but he's losing the frags, just aggressing up the spawn evil style. And then another one. And this looks like another one.
Exactly, and yeah, we would expect forfeit to be imminent at this point. Or sometimes instead of forfeiting, a player will kind of like just run around with his head just like held really low, just running around, just dying, kind of giving up but still running around. I know I've done that before in the past.
Yeah, it can happen when you're winning as well. Like you just get pretty bored, I guess, at some point. Actually, there's a funny story from when I was a noob. Basically, I was like just starting out to play seriously, and I only played ZTN back then. I was like, there was no elo back then.
Like every other Russian?
Yeah, I had like.
I had to make that joke.
To be honest, like every other white player.
Yeah, it's
just
very,
very
very
you play ZTN.
It's true.
And I was like, it was really new and quite bad, I guess. Like 1500 elo or so, I would say. Not the worst. And so I'm just hanging out on the server, and it was right during Gamescom, and out of sudden Cooler connects to my server. Like, oh, cool, what the hell? That's so awesome. I was a big Cooler fan back then as well. And I never played against anybody famous. I never even been on a server with somebody famous, so I was really excited. They joined the game, and he just readied up. And I'm like, oh, what the hell? Sure. Cooler never played on like public server, so I was really confused. So he joined and readied up when we started playing. And so I spawned at the LG. And he spawns at the lower rocket, and he just kind of runs at the mega, and I'm first to the mega, and my aim is really awful, so I actually use all my LG cells, don't kill him, and then I switch to pummel, and I pummel him, and so that's the first frag. And he spawns at the railgun, and he kills me, and then he rapes me for like 5 minutes. And then after 5 minutes, I notice he's getting less and less
interested.
Yeah, interested. He's like just running around with movement keys and still owning me, but he's just turning occasionally, and then he's getting less concentrated, and then he's just pausing for a while, and I got some frags, and I killed him when he was AFK, and I was really making a comeback happen. And then he played a little bit again, and then the game ended, and he just left. So I was really confused, and then like half a year later, like some guy PMs me on RC, and he's like, "Hey Twister, I saw you on Eurosport." Like, what the
Wow.
And then we found this clip. And they're basically doing an interview or like a, I don't know, they're following Cooler around.
I see, right.
Like this was right during Gamescom, and they just follow him around, and then they follow him around Cologne, and then there's a clip where they interview him, and they're showing like he's practicing.
Yeah.
And so you can see how he's sitting there, and they cut in right after I killed him. So you don't see how I pummeled him, but then they cut in just as he spawns at the railgun and then kills me. And then later, you can see like he's getting interviewed, and he's talking, he's playing like this, still playing. And then he's like looking at the monitor for a split second, and then he just turns around and he's still playing but looking at them and not paying any attention.
Yeah, I understand. It's pretty funny.
But yeah, I've been on Eurosport page.
Easy. Recognize.
I'm famous.
But we have to recognize that Rapha just 3-0'd his opponent, Chance, and Twister. Rapha's asked Twister, has anyone asked you what color to put their hands and feet on yet? I don't understand. I don't understand this. Oh, I understand. It's because this looks like Twister.
Oh.
And that's the. Oh my god.
Nobody asked.
Mind blown. I totally didn't. Wow. Mind blown. I totally didn't connect the dots there until just now. Thanks, Rapha, for that. So.
I have no idea. I just want to shut the look.
So congratulations to our victors today. Of course, we had Rapha just defeat Chance there, and in the European Cup, we had. Who was it? Was it Pony who won? I'm totally confused now.
I think Twister won.
Twister won? All right, congratulations to Twister who won. And of course, on that note, guys, remember to keep supporting us, pressing the follow button if you're enjoying Quake Action. Remember to spread the love as well. And if you've never seen this game before, it is free to play.
Wait, it's
so you
over?
can go to Quake. Yeah. It is over. So you can go to quakelive.com. It is a free-to-play game. And if you want to, you can get involved in the FACEIT action. Of course, our flagship tournament, the Sunday Cup, runs every Sunday, of course. And we have our points cups during the week, which you can participate in. We try to make them as accessible as possible by trying to kind of make levels. We have levels 1 to 10 that are based on the Cure Ranks ELOs, so that you guys can get matched up with people around your skill level. You can play cups and not get completely destroyed, which is often I think the most intimidating thing about Quake. But on that note, guys, that's the end of the show. So, Twister, do you have any last words? Anything you want to say before we close it out?
I want to apologize to everyone for my excessive trolling. I don't know what got up on me today.
Sometimes you wake up and you just got to troll.
Yeah, just felt like it.
So, guys,
thanks.
Yeah. Oh,
Thanks
actually,
for having me.
Is there something you want to plug? Is there somewhere they can find you? Have you got like any social media going on?
I hope not. I hope nobody can find me.
Okay.
Nah, yeah, you can watch my YouTube channel, but I guess if you're watching, you've probably seen it already. So, not really.
Okay, so that's all from us then. I hope you guys enjoyed the Quake Live action here from FACEIT TV. We'll see you next time.